And welcome back to the Ultra Football Centre. We're at the penultimate game here in the International Cup.
They've rotated this.
We have on our show table a mouth-watering tie. Peter Thomas will be playing Rudy Hesty. It's Australia versus Singapore. We will have three different games going at the same time. Well, four games going at the same time. Three different sections. We'll have the women's international going. That's Australia versus Japan. And on the other tables, we will have New Zealand taking on Japan. Both Australia and Singapore have beaten New Zealand and Japan in their respective ties 4-0. So the winner of this fixture between Australia and Singapore will be crowned the 2025 Asian Cup of Table Football International Champions. And we are here at the Ultra Football Centre thanks to our sponsors, Arrow Sport. If you need your new shirts, get on down to Arrow Sports. Bar Conti, great food there down at Bar Conti. Ozflick, jump on the website if you need to upgrade your playing equipment. Phone Tabulous, great place to go if you're upgrading your mobile phone. Subudio Perth, sponsoring a table here in the memory of our late great friend and partner in crime, John Hardy, who sadly passed away earlier this year after a brave but ultimately short battle against illness. And EnviroSun for all your industrial air conditioning needs. There you can see the lineups that will be happening. All of them were quite good. I saw that draw. Rudy Hesty put his name out first. They won the toss, and the Australians went straight into the huddle going, well, who do we bring up there? Not being the captain, Peter Thomas is. Both of the captains are playing each other. We're having the formalities of the team photos. The New Zealand versus Japan game will have, as you mentioned earlier, joining me in the commentary is Jonty Brennan. Jonty, good afternoon, good morning. I'm not sure which one it is now. It's probably afternoon now, isn't it?
Yep, I think we have ventured past the midday time.
I haven't had lunch yet, so it's still morning for me.
I was waiting for my introduction. I think it turned to afternoon while I was waiting for my introduction.
Sorry about that.
But as you say, New Zealand, Japan, one team will win their first Asian Cup matchup.
That's right. And those new to this format, it's not an individual result. It is all those games will count as one. So the best you can do is to win the tie 4-0, as you see there. So we'll keep you updated with the individual scores at each individual match. But the tie is determined by how many games you have won. It won't be 6-0, 6-0, 6-0, we win, 24-0. No,
Maximum
it's only a
4-0.
As you can see there, the two subs, Benji Batten, having played the first two games, was quite comfortable to leave it all on the table in the first couple of games. He's going to be a sub.
Cruelly dropped, some might say.
No, well, Benji said that, but And,
I would agree. Benji would agree with that sentiment.
And you can hear Benji in the background. He agrees with that. And Daniel Lombard is also the sub there. Bernard Lim and Vikas Chandaram, the two subs for Singapore. And all four of those players, dare I say it, very salty not to be playing in this tie to determine who will be the 2025 CASFA champion of Asia. Kick off. And we are away. Thomas to kick off. He's in the sky blue colours. Rudy Hesty in the darker blue colours. And Benji takes a shot straight away. Oh my goodness.
And I think that's a corner. Or is it
looked
a throw?
No, came off the keeper. It was a great save.
It's more a matter of where it went out, but I think it is a
I
corner.
know,
I think he's having the three flips for the corner. Peter Thomas immediately on the attack, as is often the case.
As is often the case, yeah. The Australian team captain, Peter Thomas, taking on Rudy Hesty. It says Hester there. There's been a slight spelling error, but it is Rudy Hesty. Oh dear, has Peter Thomas missed there?
Nope, I think he's just disappointed in himself more so at his positioning.
Yep, it had that player offside. It'll allow Rudy Hesty a defensive block. Peter Thomas now going to play at the top. Does well. Oh,
A bit of a space,
a
bit of
a
an
space. Is he
opening.
going to have a shot here? I think so.
Force the corner.
Yeah, he forced the corner. That's right. Pressure is what pressure is. Keep it down your attacking area.
An early goal in the Japan-New Zealand third versus fourth fixture, with I think it was Tomoki taking a 1-0 lead over Ian Sansom in that
Yep.
table. So 1-0 to New Zealand in that fixture. Sorry, 1-0 to Japan.
1-0 Japan, yep. And as I've said more than a few times, I love this teams format. You just don't know where to look. There'll be noises coming from everywhere because there are 3 different sections happening at the moment. The women at the moment are 1-1 in their tie. We mentioned earlier that Catherine Palomara had beaten Makai Nishi, but Nishi, when I gave you that score, Nishi scored with literally 3 seconds to go to equalise. So that tie is all up for grabs. 1-1.
Reverse fixtures being
after
played
2
now.
Yep, and this is the return leg. Great to see the women joining. The men have always been playing this Nations Cup pretty much since the start, I think. I don't think there's been an Asian Cup without this particular format in there. But the women now, as we're getting more and more players in, and obviously with the distance that needed to be travelled, the Japanese have brought a good contingent along, including some female players, so we can get that ticked as well.
And we have a goal in the Australia-Singapore fixture.
Thank you.
It looks like Michael Chung has gone 1-0 up against Robert Green,
Yep.
the champion from yesterday, putting his mark early on this
Yep.
final matchup.
As we get more scores in, you'll see what I was talking about earlier. So even though that says 1-0 to Singapore and 1-0 that game, that we're not going by that goal. We're going by the fact that Michael Chung is leading in that particular tie. Peter Thomas with the free kick now. They're going for the distance. Everyone has their own particular measuring tool. Sometimes it's just the 2 fingers, which is an international standard. But, you know, if you have bigger fingers than others, it's not
Shot on
necessarily-
here.
Yep.
A deflection to go anywhere.
Oh, my
That's a
goodness.
save.
Yep, that player's gone off the field, so he'll get to the halfway line. He'll get a flick for
And Greeny's
And
pulled
Greeny's
it level.
equalised.
He's pulled it level.
brilliant. So you'll see now if we get a shot of that scoreboard that the tie is now 0-0.
There we go. Oh, they have not updated the top score there. The correction.
There's the Singaporean team manager going, no, let's get that right. So Robert Green.
Elliot Kennedy.
has gone and scored a goal against Den Muller. So as quick as that, 1-0 down to 1-0 up.
That's the beauty of the team format.
Yep. You have to rely on your teammates. You know, as best as you can play, you could have one of the great games. I saw that in the World Cup last year. That, you know, there were some games where a player was getting, the final itself, it went down to the last goal. Belgium believed they'd won the tie, but 1 goal in a game that had a refereeing adjudication, so that's finished after the other 3 games. Belgium were up and were celebrating being the World Cup champions, and then with seconds to go, Italy equalised, put the score back, and the Italians were crowned world champions.
A goal in the women's event as well.
Was that Catherine Palomar?
Has taken the lead, Catherine.
Fantastic. Catherine's taken the lead over Kimiwada.
Up, and as we say that, there's been 2 goals. There's been 1 on the Australian-Singapore matchup. Robert Green
Has gone
2-1 up. No, 2-1 down.
Oh no.
2-1 down against Michael Chung. And there was a goal in the New Zealand-Japan matchup. Who it was, what table, I'm not quite sure. We will get word on that. All I heard was the yell. I'm not sure if the scoreboard has been updated, but we will get that information.
I've gone to check that. Japan are 2-0 up in the tie. Hideki Wada is leading against Nick McNeil. And Tomoki Ono is 2-0 up now over Ian Sansom. So they have the 2-0 lead in the tie. We're concentrating on this particular game here between two of the greats of our game in this region. Peter Thomas from Australia playing Rudy Hesty of Singapore. Hesty slowing it down as we saw him play against Hideki Wada in the game against Japan. He was playing at a slightly higher pace. He's missed there. That's a change of possession.
And a goal in the New Zealand game.
Richard Edison has scored. He now becomes the greatest goal scorer for New Zealand. He's gone 1-0 up over Manabu Nishi.
So 2-1 in that tie
2-1
now.
in that tie now. Richard having a fabulous weekend. He is really showing his skills and just the improvement he's made in the short time that New Zealand have been into our fold is amazing to watch. That's back. There won't be too many of those errors in this game, I can almost guarantee that. Peter Thomas rarely gives the ball away, and likewise with Rudy Hesty. Great play there from Peter Thomas, really moving it at pace, gets that through there. Can he get into the shooting zone? He has done. Hesty with a great block. Ooh, that's out for a corner though.
He will take that. A chance to gather the troops up and a goal.
Ashley Tan has gone 1-0 up over Luka Lazinski.
And that puts Singapore ahead in the aggregate score 2-1.
Yep.
But every game within a 1-goal margin.
That's right, every game within a 1-goal margin.
We will see that aggregate score change a fair bit, I'd imagine.
You bet it will. I can't imagine this game between Thomas and Hesty staying at 0-0. It wouldn't surprise me if it did. They're two great players. But chances are plenty here. Here comes another one from Peter Thomas. Oh my goodness, that's a great shot. Ricocheting off Hesty's player. Change of possession, he'll get the flick for the save. Hesty, as quick as that, gets it out of these defensive. That
And he's
is
kept
back.
possession. It's bounced back onto his own player. It's
he
a
did.
2v1.
Moving his player around. That's a great block there from Peter Thomas. Forced the throw in. Bernard Lim has
No, Michael has gone
has
3-1 up, I think.
has given us the indication that Michael Chung is now
We'll get confirmation
3-1
from the scorers.
over Robert Green. And that's the strength of both of these teams, that you look at the names on the subs bench and go, why aren't they playing? It's someone has to miss out. I would imagine those four players may be used at halftime. You can only make the sub at halftime. And if you choose not to, those subs will be cheering from the sidelines. You can hear Japan-New Zealand game going really well. I'll get another update from that very shortly. Great touch there from Hesty. Is that player offside?
He's offside,
He's- Oh,
unfortunately.
Thank you, John T. It looked like it from here, but the angles are never the greatest. That player is still offside. That's an interesting move there from Rudy Hesty. He's going to flick at the ball. That's touch. No, it's missed.
No, he's missed.
He's going to force the throw. Difficult to get there. He done well there. That's the skill there. No, I mean, I would have thought about doing it, but I wouldn't have had the skill set.
execution might have been lacking.
Very lacking. Will he force another throw? No. Good play.
Possession.
That's the way to go about it, particularly against a player as skilled as Rudy Hesty. You'll need to keep possession.
And here comes the Peter Thomas swarm. Men charging forward on the run.
Oh, wow! Great shot from Peter Thomas on the run. Great shot. And as you said, the Peter Thomas swarm just running it down the pitch at pace. Shot on the run, just missing.
A real tsunami. You see it coming, but you're not stopping it.
You're not stopping it. You can't run away from it. You can't get out of the way. It's a freight train. That's a back from Peter Thomas. He'll try to cover up the ball there. Has done well.
There is still the angle, though.
Yeah,
He
there is.
will keep possession, you'd think, but the shot, I don't think, is on.
No.
Oh! Free kick.
Free
though.
kick.
I didn't think there was the angle.
No,
And,
Adrian Elmar.
The referee would agree with me, I think.
Adrian Elmar trying to. Rudy Hesty not entirely happy with that call. I can see Peter Thomas from here scratching the head. As you see there on the screen, he's not
Few
saying
hand
anything.
gestures from Rudy.
But the referee's decision is final. As I said earlier on, if the two players disagree with the referee, they can overrule. But if both players are in disagreement as well, it's the referee's call, and the referee has made that call.
A flurry of goals in the New Zealand-Japan game, it seems.
While we're waiting on that one, I'll go and get an update there.
In the meantime, the women's fixture there on our screens, just the reverse matchups from the earlier set of fixtures that resulted in a 0-0 draw between both sides. So all to play for in the reverse matchups, but here we are back on the show arena with Peter Thomas and Rudy Hesty. Peter Thomas will look to get the angle there, unfortunately, or just not falling for him how he would have liked.
And I've got the score update from the Japan-New Zealand game. It is 2-2. Conrad Mudge has scored against Katsutoyo Katakota. Richard Edison still 1-0 up over Manabu Nishi. Domiki Ono is now 3-0 up over Ian Sanson. And Hideki Wada 1-0 over Nick McNeil. Brzezinski scores.
And that brings Australia level.
Yep, that's it. So that is 1-1 in that particular game against Ashley Tan. And that takes a win at the moment away from Singapore. The tie now evenly balanced at 1-1.
Singapore still ahead on goal difference, though.
That's right.
If it were to come down to it.
And this is where the team event comes in. So yes, if you win your game, that only counts as one. But if scores in the overall tie are level, goals scored come into play. So as much as you want to score, part of the drama of this team's event is you want your opponent not to score, obviously. But the more that you can limit your opponent, no matter how good they are, the better it's going to be for your teammates. Thomas going slightly defensive there, marking up the players. You can't man mark as such. There needs to be that ball distance between the player when you set up and your opponent. The player in possession of the ball sets their players first, and then your opponent can place their players anywhere you like. You see what Peter Thomas has done there. Those three players off to the near of our screen, man marked up. They'll come into play, but it's going to be difficult. Rudy Hesty going down the far wing. That's not shootable at the moment. It is now.
There is an angle.
We're arguing here. Rudy Hesty wants to take the shot. Peter Thomas, again, not getting involved in any of the arguments. He'll accept the referee's decision as is. Gets the block. Yeah, Hesty not entirely happy with that decision from Adrian Elmar, but the referee decision is final. That's unlucky. Yeah, I can see some frustration there from Rudy Hesty in that particular phase of play. Unlike Rudy to do that, but that's the pressure of this game. As we mentioned, the winner will become the newly crowned 2025 Asian Cup of Table Football
Champions of Asia.
International
big
champion.
title.
It is a big title. And there's the halftime buzzer. This game is going there. So
I will get the scoreboard up on your screens.
And there it is. There's the score of our show table. Peter Thomas 0, Rudy Hesty 0, Robert Green 3-1 down against Michael Chung, Brzezinski 1, Tan 1, and Elliot Kennedy 1-0 over Den Muller. The overall tie score is 1-1, but New Zealand ahead on goals scored. We'll be back here at the Ultra Football Centre in just a few flicks. Join us then for the second half of this enthralling nations tie. Welcome back to the Ultra Football Centre here in Alexandria, Sydney. We're in the second half here of the 2025 Asian Cup of Table Football International Tournament. We are on the show table here. Peter Thomas from Australia, the Australian captain, against Rudy Hesty. It is 0-0 in this particular game that we are watching. It is 1-1 overall in the tie, Australia versus Singapore. Singapore are leading on goals scored. The scores at the moment, as I say, 0-0, Rudy Hesty. Robert Green 3-1 down over Michael Chung. It is 1-1 between Luke Razimski and Ashley Tan, and Elliot Kennedy 1-up against Den Mulia. Joining me in the commentary booth is Jonty Brenner. Jonty, how are you going, mate?
I'm good. 15 minutes of a sensational weekend coming to a close. A great organisational effort from the whole team to put on such a splendid event, and it's all come down to 15 minutes, Australia versus Singapore.
The winner of this tie will be crowned the new champions, and we'll give you the score update in the other fixture at the moment. It is New Zealand versus Japan. It is 2-2 for games at the moment, but Japan are leading that tie on goals scored, 4-2. Tomoko Ono is 3-0 over Ian Sanson. Richard Edison is 1-0 over Manabu Nishi. Conrad Mudge of New Zealand is 1-0 over Katsuo Katawa. And Hideki Wada is 1-0 over Nick McNeil. So 4 goals scored by Japan to the 2 goals of the Kiwis, has Japan winning that tie. In the women's tournament, I've gone up there to check, the newly crowned Asian champion under 20s, Catherine Palamara, is 1-0 up over Kimiwada. And there, you see that goal. Michael Chung.
I think a double goal.
It looked like a double goal.
A double goal. Simultaneous on 2 tables at once.
Ashley Tan gets 1 more. So that's 2-1 over Luke Razimski. And Den Mulia equalises against Elliot Kennedy. And that puts the tie now 1-0 to Australia. No, that can't be right. It's 1-0 to Singapore, surely.
2-0 to Singapore.
2-0 to Singapore.
A split-second dagger to the Australian Hearts.
As quick as that. As quick as that.
They now need at least 2 results.
Yeah, to go their way, or the Singaporeans will retain their title. It's probably one of the strongest teams Australia's been able to field, and obviously the home nation gets that opportunity. The other nations in Asia being the area they need to travel. I'll be off to New Zealand later on next month, and that's going to take me nearly 8 hours to fly there. So I'm looking forward to that. Peter Thomas in possession now. As we've said more than a few times, he rarely gives up that possession. Playing backwards.
And then
Mulia goes
2 goals in a minute.
Yep, goes
Takes
2.
the lead over Elliot Kennedy, 2-1.
And the look on Kennedy's face is he is not happy with himself. The 2 subs there, Daniele Lombardi and Benji Batten, giving him the encouragement he needs. Head up, go again.
There was I did notice 30 seconds ago, a call I think that Elliot wasn't too happy with.
And Elliot has been our head referee for the Open event yesterday, so
But it is the referee's call.
It is the referee's call, so for him to be unhappy, and he's rarely unhappy, but to be unhappy about a refereeing call that he probably knows a little bit more intricacies of the laws of the game. But, as we said, referee's decision is final. Have to accept it. You don't have to like it, but you have to accept it. Hesty now with a good chance to shoot. If he gets this in, this will really blow the tie. Oh my goodness. I was going to say that would really blow the tie well open. It's 3-0 now to Singapore.
That would have been 4-0.
It would have been 4. There you see the live scores, thanks to our technical director, Louis Detry. Thank you very much, Louis. That's for all of you people back home. You can see this time remaining 10 minutes in this second half. Still plenty of time there. Rzymski right in front of us, just taking his time against Ashley Tan. If he can get an equaliser there, I'll take it back down to 2. And that's what I'm saying, it's just one goal either way. Oh my goodness, that's going to be a foul, I think. Rudy Hesty is going to get the free kick.
No, I think it's... Oh, no, it is Rudy Hesty's free kick.
And referee pointing out where the free kick will be taken from. And this is one of the rare occasions where Peter Thomas, pushing forward, doesn't really have a defensive wall here. He's going to have to rely on his keeper doing the job. Hesty will play backwards. Has done. Both players are on side. See what he's done there. He moved that player. Here we go. Great save. Great save from Peter Thomas.
Den has grabbed a third goal.
Kennedy really not happy with himself. Probably still thinking about that, what he believes to be a refereeing error. And you see Benji Batten rubbing his head. He's not happy. Probably thinking, could I do any better? I'm not sure. But it is what it is. Forced throw in there from Rudy Hesty.
And the path to victory for Australia now, very tough. Would require a 2-goal turnaround in one of the games. Currently decided by 2 goals, which would be Michael Chung against Robert Green, 3-1, or Den Muller, 3-1 against Elliot Kennedy. They need one of those games to go.
3-2, that'll help. Get goals there, but it's
a long way back.
It's a tough. But again, if Peter Thomas wins this game, that gets us there. We get Luke Rzymski to equalise against Ashley Tan. That becomes 1-0. Elliot Kennedy to get his head back in the game, play as best as we know he can. We need to score, as you say, Jonty, we need to score 2 goals there to get that back in. So it's not yet dead and buried, but it's going to be very, very tough. Peter Thomas in possession.
Looking to start the comeback.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great block there from Rudy.
You know, if he scores, he'll let out a yell.
I'm sure he will.
He'll urge the rest of the Australian team. He'll get them fired up.
That's it. Captain's effort.
He just needs that 1 goal.
And he's working extremely hard to get there, but Hesty doing everything in his power to block off that avenue.
Just ops in time. He still has possession. There is a man out wide if he can poke it out there.
He has done. Now it's out there. One more flick. Hesty, that's a good block. I think that's a free kick. That's a free kick.
It is. Or is it a moving back?
Well, the ball's been played.
The ball moved, yes.
So it'll be a free kick. And you see Peter Thomas just waiting for the referee to make his adjudication.
Rudy once
Hesty
again.
There's the women's game. So we see Imogen Elmer there has been subbed out. Beth Everly is playing Mikey Nishi. That was 0-0 at half-time. Catherine Palmara is 1-0 up over Kimi Wada. She's wearing the Elmer shirt as well in solidarity. Australia are winning that tie 2-1.
Still a bit of deliberation on this field.
Is it 2-1? No, 1-0. Because I forgot about that lady
equaliser. 1-0, yes.
They're winning that tie 1-0 on aggregate. Yeah.
Thanks to this one game, Catherine in the lead.
Yep.
Currently. And Dan really taking control of this game. 4-1.
Yep.
And the goal difference
and
becomes larger and larger.
Yep. Kennedy shrugs the shoulders. Does the what more can I do? There's your score, 4-1 now.
It's quite rare to see Elliot concede 4.5, let alone 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But it has been all one-way traffic on that pitch.
Yep. Peter Thomas, very cagey, trying to get that shot. Oh dear. Oh my goodness. That's a great shot. Good save. Thomas will get a flick, reinforcing his defence. Look at him. Straight away, we've got all these players back. Very tense affair, even with the scores as they are. Oh, come on, we here. I think that might have been from Richard Edison.
Both teams there, still in a deadlock, both looking to grab their first Asian
I
competitive
know,
win.
as you said, Jonty, that's amazing. You know, and to think that that prize is on there. You break your duck, you've got that win. No longer is it, oh, when will it happen? It'll happen today.
And in the case, stop.
Ashley Tan
3-1 against
now
Luke
puts another goal
Radziminski.
past Luke. That is making it highly doubtful now for Australia to come back from there. The goal difference itself is almost insurmountable. Less than 4 minutes to play now. Captain Peter Thomas doing everything he can to will his team to a win, but it's just that steamroll effect of the Singaporeans. Whichever table you look at, it's great player against great player.
And it's such a momentum game,
Yeah.
the team's event.
Yes, it is.
You hear your other tables, your teammates going up, and you get that second wind,
Yes.
looking to score your own goals.
That's a great touch there from Rudy Hesty, fashioning a shooting opportunity. Oh, forces the corner. And as we saw that in the first half, force the corner, keep the ball down in your attacking areas, see what happens. Maybe that sustained pressure will crack. I won't say it's highly unlikely against Peter Thomas, but and there you see that's exactly the caginess of this tie. Hesty playing a defender back rather than pushing it forward. Great block.
He has no need to concede a goal.
Nope. Is that no? That's another great block. I
His teammates are doing the job for him.
Yep, that's right.
scored
Luke scores
one back.
again. Just one goal in that tie now between Ashley Tan and Luke Radziminski.
Still needs 2 goals to give Australia any hope of snatching the win.
And I don't know if you picked that up on our mics, but the great Benji Batten going, come on mate, still plenty of time. And there is. As we saw in the women's game, with 3 seconds to go, Catherine Palomara conceded to make it 1-1 in her tie against Makai Nishi. You would think that game's over. She scored with a minute to go, thinking I've won the tie, and then with seconds. Oh, it was a heartbreaker for her. She was not impressed. Great goal. I had a chat with her afterwards. She said it was a really good goal. Not a lot she could do with the skill set. Great save.
Off the post. Thing deflected onto the post, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I think that was the save. He pushed the keeper out. Yeah, he's saying it was the save. Yeah. So
I stand corrected.
That allowed Rudy Hesty a defensive flick. Peter Thomas in possession, great flick. That player's offside. He'll have to flick him onside. Has done now. Hesty with the defensive cover. Yep. What's he going to do here? Good touch. Will he force the throw? I don't think he will. Well worked to get around that player. Back around the other side. Forcing Hesty to move that player. Blocking at the top of the box. Hesty will wake up to that one. Of course he would be. Peter Thomas going to force it through that gap on the net. Oh, there it is! Oh my goodness, what a shot on the run. Great save, that's still in. So that is still Hesty's ball all the way down the other area. You saw that pressure. Peter Thomas with the shot. It's now down to Rudy Hesty.
Time slipping away for the Australian team.
Yeah, it is.
It's pretty much impossible from here.
Yep.
A valiant effort, but to no avail. And the score in the Japanese
And I've just
New
changed
Zealand game.
I've just double checked that. There is no score from that half time, so Japan are winning the tie on goal scored. It is 2-2. Score's still there. Nick McNeil 1-0 down against Hideki Wada. Ian Sanson 3-0 down against Tomoko Ono. Richard Edison from New Zealand up 1-0 against Manabu Nishi. And Conrad Mudge up 1-0 against Katsutoyo Katakura.
So after 11 years, it looks like Japan will grab their first win
Yep.
as a nation in a competitive team.
And I want to hear the Japanese roar. I reckon it'll come. Shot on the run. Oh! Zimski scored.
No, he didn't.
Oh!
I don't think so.
I heard
Or did he?
I heard the roar. I think he got the equaliser there, but that's not enough. Thomas 0-0 against Rudy Hesty. What a great game. I hope you enjoyed that. Robert Green gets beat by Michael Chung, the newly crowned 2025 Asian Cup of Table Football, 3-1.
We will get confirmation about
Ashley
that
Tan.
Ashley Luke game.
They haven't updated the score, so we can only go by what we see. Ashley Tan 3, Luke Lazinski 2, and as we see there, Dan Mooley 4-1 over Elliot Kennedy. Singapore, congratulations, they are the newly crowned and reigning champions. They were defending their title. Beat Australia in the International Nations Cup, the 2025 Table Football Championships of Asia. 3-0. Well done. Well played, Japan. Well played, Japan, who beat New Zealand on goal scored. Well played, Singapore. Thank you very much for joining us here on the live stream. We hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. Thank you very much, Jonty, for joining me for a lot of the time here on
My pleasure.
in the chair. You can restream it on the YouTube at the FISTF official YouTube channel.
And before we go, do we have an update on the women's game?
I will go and get that.
Stick with us for a minute as Hugh runs to the other side of the venue. You will see him enter the camera frame, grabbing the score. As the Singaporean celebrations begin. A hard-fought victory over the Australians. They retain their Asian Cup title from Japan 4 years ago. And Hugh, what is the result?
I've got it. Beth Everly in tears. I thought, oh no, she's lost. No, the Australian women's team have beaten Japan 1-0 on aggregate. The goal from Catherine Palomara in that game was enough for Australia to win. Everly in tears. It's just joys around her. So they win that tie 1-0 after 4 games. 1-0. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us. All the results will be on the Subudio Australia Facebook page. Thanks for joining us. Bye for now.